What's up everyone, this is CyberKnight, and today I have an Odd-Eyes deck profile for you guys. So yes, of course, this is using the brand new Odd-Eyes Arc Pendulum Dragon from the Legendary Dragon decks, and I gotta say, that card is freaking awesome. It adds so much to Odd-Eyes, and I'm so glad they actually made this card because it makes a deck like this possible and a lot of fun to use. And of course, not only that, my build that I'm using can actually go for every form of summoning, because you can actually Pendulum Summon, you can Fuse, you can Synchro Summon, Exceed Summon, Link Summon, and even Ritual Summon using this deck. So it does everything on that, and like I said, it's just a blast to use. So enough talk, let's go ahead and go through the card. Alright, so starting us off, I am using 3 of our brand new Odd-Eyes monster, which is Odd-Eyes Arc Pendulum Dragon. So yeah, this card is amazing. What it does for Odd-Eyes is that basically when it's in your Pendulum Zone and one of your Odd-Eyes monsters is destroyed by battle or card effect, you are able to special summon an Odd-Eyes monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard to your side of the field. So what this does, it just makes it a lot easier to bring out your Odd-Eyes monsters. You don't have to worry about Pendulum summoning them or anything like that. And this effect is so easy to activate too, because it even works with like Odd-Eyes Pendulum Dragon's effect, where whenever it's in the Pendulum Zone, you know how it destroys itself and you can search with it? Well, that effect will actually activate Odd-Eyes Arc Pendulum Dragon's effect. So they work really well together, and just having a card that can access basically all of your monsters, because they're all basically Odd-Eyes monsters, so it helps out a ton with the deck and makes it so it's so much easier to bring out your Odd-Eyes monsters. Then, of course, after that, I am using 3 of Odd-Eyes Pendulum Dragon. You gotta have those as well. Like I said, they work really well with Odd-Eyes Arc Pendulum Dragon, because its effect will activate Arc Pendulum's effect. And obviously, too, Odd-Eyes is a good card, so there you go, you gotta have that. Then, of course, I'm also using one of Odd-Eyes Lancer Dragon. This is another really good Odd-Eyes to use because, first off, it can be special summoned by the effect of Arc Pendulum, and it has 3,000 attack, so it's good to have that extra attack power, and also its effect will help it actually special summon itself pretty easily too. So it's great to just have a stronger Odd-Eyes monster that I can easily bring out, whether it be by its own effect or Arc Pendulum, so that's why I like having one of them too. Then after that, I'm using 2 of Odd-Eyes Phantom Dragon. Basically, it's the manga version of Odd-Eyes Pendulum Dragon. It's just this one can help power up your Odd-Eyes monsters, with its Pendulum effect, and the monster effect actually does some good burn damage, because when you have Odd-Eyes monster in Pendulum zones, it gets, does some burn damage to your opponent, and that can actually mean a lot whenever you have your Odd-Eyes monsters all set up. So yeah, that burn damage can actually come in handy. Then after that, I am also using 3 of Odd-Eyes Persona Dragon. This is another just really good Odd-Eyes card. I'm so happy it was reprinted, by the way, because it was pretty expensive. But yeah, whenever it is special summon, it can negate extra deck monsters' effects, which is really good, obviously. It can help you kind of move around your cards from your Pendulum Zone to the field and stuff too, and even from the extra deck, and place one from the extra deck into the Pendulum Zone. So it just helps you set everything where you need it to be. So it's really great for that reason too. And then after that, I'm using 2 of Odd-Eyes Mirage Dragon. Kind of the same idea as Persona Dragon, really. It can help you get your Pendulum monsters where you want them to be in the Pendulum Zones, and also it adds a little bit of a protection effect, too. So, it's one that is definitely comes in handy for you, and again, it kind of has the same sort of idea as Persona Dragon in a way, as being one of the weaker Odd-Eyes monsters, but with some really good and helpful effects for you. And then for the last of our Odd-Eyes monsters, I am using one of Odd-Eyes Gravity Dragon. I mean, it is insanely easy to bring this card out. Yes, you have to use the Ritual spell, but also we have so much searching ability and everything for Odd-Eyes cards. It's really easy to get, so I don't mind running one of these, and again, it's a stronger Odd-Eyes monster that can definitely do some damage, so it's great to have it. And then, of course, for the rest of my monsters, I'm using one Performing Pal Odd-Eyes Dissolver, basically just there to help you fuse your monsters together, so it definitely comes in handy for that. Then, of course, one of Noble Dragon Magician, and one of Performing Pal Odd-Eyes Synchron. Both of those are there to help you Synchro Summon, obviously. I mean, you can easily bring out, like, Meteor Burst Dragon, or even, like, Clearwing if you want. So, both of these give you access to Synchros, which is obviously going to definitely help you out with that. Then, of course, I am using 3 of Performapal Skullcrobat Joker. This card is basically Stratos for Performapals and Odd-Eyes monsters. I mean, it's really that simple. You normal summon it, you get to search for an Odd-Eyes or Performapal from your deck and add it to your hand. So, using that, I mean, obviously it can help you get whatever card you need to your hand as quickly as possible. So, definitely good for that. And next up, I'm also running one of Performapal Odd-Eyes Unicorn. This card comes in handy with the Odd-Eyes decks because it's able to increase your life points, and even its Pendulum effect will help power up your Odd-Eyes monsters. So, with that, of course, just having that little bit of a power up can definitely help you out, and like I said, you can gain some life points with its monster effect too, so either way, it can come in handy at 1 for anything that uses Odd-Eyes. And then, last but not least, I am using 2 of Performapal Pendulum Sorcerer. What's great about these is that they can help you kind of reset a few things. You know, you get rid of 2 of your monsters, then of course you're able to search for a Performapal. So by doing this, I mean, it gives you access to like Skull Crobat Joker and some of your other cards too really easily. So that's what I like about this card, is just having the access to that Skull Crobat Joker, being able to then normal summon it, get its searching effect and stuff too, can definitely help you out. So it just adds a little bit of consistency and helps you get things where they need to be. Alright, now moving on to our spell cards. First off, I'm using 3 of Duelist Alliance, and then of course I'm also using 3 of Spiral Flame Strike. So yeah, both these cards kind of have the same idea about them, whereas they can both help you search for the cards you need. Duelist Alliance is good because if you already have one of your Pendulum monsters in a Pendulum Zone, then you can search for another one. You can set up the scales with it and everything, so it works great, just like it does in Pendulum Magicians and basically anything else that involves pendulums. Yeah, it works that great here as well, so that searching ability definitely will come in handy for you. And then, of course, not only that, Spiral Flame Strike, like I said, kind of has the same idea, whereas it will help you search for a level 7 Odd-Eyes monster. So, of course, with this card, you can add a level 7 Odd-Eyes monster from your deck to your hand, or even from your extra deck to your hand. And it also has a destruction effect, where if you control an Odd-Eyes card, you can activate it to destroy a card on the field. So basically, both of these will help you search for the cards that you need, and they come in handy for that too, so you have everything that you need, whether you want to summon it as quickly as possible, or just to set up the scales. Then after that, I'm also using 2 of Odd-Eyes Fusion. That way I can fusion some of my Odd-Eyes monsters really easily, as well as having 1 of Odd-Eyes Advent, which is the ritual spell for Odd-Eyes Gravity Dragon. So both of these are actually searchable with Sky Iris, which we'll get to here in a second, and yeah, they're just there to help do what they do, whether it be to ritual summon or fusion summon. And next up, of course, I am using 3 of Sky Iris. Like I said, I mean, this is a good field spell for Odd-Eyes. It helps protect your Odd-Eyes monsters, and also, too, it helps you search for different Odd-Eyes cards. So it can help search for the Ritual, even the Fusion, like I said, Odd-Eyes Fusion, and just a lot of different cards, too. So really great with that, and even that protection effect will definitely come in handy for you. After that, too, I'm also using 2 of Wavering Eyes. It's a card that we finally have back again. Using 2 of them works out great with this deck because you can kind of reset the field even if you need to, do some burn damage, and even have a search effect with it, too. It just really helps out with getting the cards where you need them to be and making sure you have everything set up right. And since we only have 2 traps, they're just going to be 2 of Solemn Strike because, yeah, I kind of hate going with builds that don't have trap cards. And so I feel like 2 Solemn Strikes are pretty safe and cards that will come in handy in a lot of situations. So that's why I threw in 2 of those as well. Okay, now let's go on ahead and go through the extra deck. So first off, we have our fusion monsters, and that gives us 2 of Odd-Eyes Vortex Dragon. So yeah, Odd-Eyes Vortex Dragon is one of the best Odd-Eyes cards out there. It definitely comes in handy. It's easy to bring up because Odd-Eyes Fusion, and of course Dissolver, being able to bounce back one of your opponent's monsters back to their hand, and also that negation effect too, is just great. So I definitely recommend having 2 of them because, like I said, it's so easy to bring out, and has some great effects to go along with it. Also, I'm using 1 of Starting Venom Fusion Dragon, and of course 1 of Supreme King Dragon Starting Venom. So yeah, we have both of the Starting Venoms here, and yeah, they both come in handy for different reasons. I mean, it depends on your situation of which one you need. Starting Venom definitely can do some damage because it can power itself up and everything, and Supreme King Starting Venom is great because we're also using the other Supreme Kings, so it's another one that's easy to fuse for, and since we're using the other Supreme Kings too, they all work great together, so obviously they're both great options to have, depending on your situation. And then for last of our fusions, I'm using 1 of Performapal Gatling Ghoul, which since I'm using a lot of Performapals and stuff like Skull Crobat Joker, it's great to have access to this card because it's burn damage and everything, definitely come in handy, and it's just good to have the option to go for it. Next up we have Synchros. So for Synchros, I am using 2 of Odd-Eyes Meteor Burst Dragon. This card is another one that definitely comes in handy for you because you can easily Synchro Summon for it, and then you're able to get one of your monsters from your Pendulum Zone and Special Summon it, which can mean an easy like Odd-Eyes Pendulum Dragon, which then can also help you go for an easy rank 7 Xyz Summon. So yeah, with its effects, it definitely comes in handy for that, and it helps set up plays, so definitely good to bring out, and actually pretty easy to bring out too. Also, I'm using 1 of Clearwing Synchro Dragon, of course, also going with the alt art of it. I think it looks awesome. But yeah, it's another great option to have, and a good Synchro monster, depending on your situation. Then, of course, with that, I'm also using Supreme King Dragon Clearwing, so basically, Supreme King version of it. Another one that's really easy to Synchro Summon for, and has great effects for that too, being able to blow up everything, basically. And yeah, it's just another one that's easy to bring out, and can do some damage. Now for Xyz, I'm using Supreme King Dragon Dark Rebellion. Again, easy to bring out, has great effects too, so you definitely want to have one of those. 1 of Castell, because it's Castell, and we can go for rank 4s, so yeah, I mean, it's always a staple for anything like that. and I am using 2 of Odd-Eyes Absolute Dragon. This is a good rank 7 for Odd-Eyes just because it can help you special summon one from your graveyard easily, and it just does really well. Like I said, Meteor Burst, using its effect to then get like Odd-Eyes Pendulum Dragon from the Pendulum Zone to your side of the field, and then easily going for an Odd-Eyes Absolute Dragon is a really good combo. Then after that, you can get another Odd-Eyes because of its own effect. You can negate an attack and special summon an Odd-Eyes. So with it, works out great, obviously, for that, and you definitely want to have a couple of them for that reason, too. Then, of course, number 11, Big Eye. Well, basically, it's just a good rank 7, and since I can go for rank 7s easily, I want one that can take one of my opponent's monsters and do some damage. So it definitely comes handy for that, and it's one of the best rank 7s out there. So I definitely wanted to have one of it in the extra deck as well. And then last but not least, I have a Link monster, which is the Code Talker. It's just great to have the option for a Link monster. I mean, it's not something you normally go for, but I just like having the option there, and the Code Talker is one of the best Link monsters out there, giving me some extra monster zones, and yeah, I mean, it'll definitely come in handy if you want to summon it. And yep, there you go. That is my Odd-Eyes deck profile. I hope you guys have enjoyed this deck profile. I mean, it's a lot of fun to play. Like I said, too, I love how it can go for every form of summoning. And it's kind of cool, too, how most of these cards are actually pretty cheap, too. So it shouldn't be that tough to build if you guys want to try it out for yourselves. So, as always, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to hit that like button. It helps out a ton. Subscribe for more Yu-Gi-Oh! Videos, deck profiles, discussions, news videos, and other things, too. And, of course, I will. Catch you guys later. See ya.